Hello guys! Hello everybody! This is again, I am a singer, Eternal Voice. So this moment in time, we will be talking about triglycerides, okay, fatty acids, okay, and a little bit of cholesterol because this is very important to our health, okay, these substances. Okay, and we'll be able also to talk what are the foods essential, okay, to maintain the regulation of our cholesterol level, our fatty acids level, or basically the fats, okay, like that. Allow me to speak in front of you. This is, I am a senior eternal voice, OSH engineer, and a chemical engineer. So, this point in time is very easy to share a little bit to you. Know that very technical. It's only a little bit of information, and it's very good to share with you because I can relate to the topics also, especially linked with organic chemistry. Okay, the different organic structure, the formulas of these fatty acids, like that, blah blah blah, so on. So now we discuss first the formulas, the chemical formulas, or the organic chemical formula. So for the cholesterol, the formula will be, I will write that here. Okay, so sorry for waiting because I write, okay, here. So this is C24H46 and oxygen. Okay, as you can see, this is the organic chemical formula of cholesterol. A cholesterol is a type of a lipid. So it is basically a sterol, okay, sterol, responsible in the production of steroid hormones, bile acids, and also for the vitamin D, something like that. Okay, this is the formula of cholesterol. So imagine there are 24 atoms of carbon. How can you write that in the piece of paper? That's too long, right? There's a very long straight chain of carbon atoms. Hydrogen also 46 atoms. Okay? So it's not practical to write on the paper the structural formula, organic structural formula, or atomic structural formula of this cholesterol. Okay, this cholesterol has a density of 1.052 grams per cubic centimeter. Oh my gosh. And you can compute the molecular weight directly by summation of adding the carbon atoms, hydrogen atoms, and oxygen. Then you can get the molecular weight for this. Okay, imagine this is heavy, right? So if this will accumulate in your liver, in your bloodstream, in your tissues and cells, it's not easy to remove. Okay, that's why we need physical activities, exercises like that, aerobic exercise, jogging, biking, walking, or going to the gym. Okay, like that. This is a very very heavy substance, the cholesterol. Okay, this cholesterol is very important in the production of hormones, critical hormones such as the sex hormones, which are the progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone, and of course the stress hormones, which are adrenaline, epinephrine, and cortisol. Okay, like that. And this is very also important in the component structure of the cell membrane for the integrity and the fluidity of the cell membrane in our tissues. Okay, cell membrane. So if there's no cholesterol, then it's not good. There will be no good and effective cell receptor during the action of combination between the hormone and the cell receptor of the tissues, and then they can function properly, regulate properly, coordinate properly, maintaining the activities of our hormones in our body. So cholesterol is very important. But the problem is there is a limit of this cholesterol. Okay, now cholesterol subdivided into two types. We have the LDL. Okay, LDL. We have the LDL here. This is low density lipoprotein. So this is the bad cholesterol. So when you do your physical examination, it should be not above 100 milligrams per deciliters. Okay, and we have also the HDL. Okay, HDL. HDL is the high density lipoprotein. Okay, like that. So meaning to say this protein will be a binding agent to this cholesterol. That's why this name of cholesterol derived from protein. There's a word protein. Okay, high density lipoprotein, this is a positive or good cholesterol, and this must be above 60 milligrams per deciliter. Above okay, like that. Okay, so this is gonna be like that. So this cholesterol is a steroid hormones, manufactured steroid hormones, right? Like that. The specific example is sterol. Okay, like that. I don't have to put the formula because it's too long. Okay, only the main function for this. Okay, for the production of important and critical hormones. Okay, for the regulation and proper controlling of the steroids, stress hormones, sex hormones, and then also this cholesterol will be accumulated in our liver in an adequate amount. Then this will be used, the cholesterol that will be accumulated in our liver will be used to produce bile. Okay, bile, B-I-L-E. If there's no bile, there will be no processing and digestion of fats. Okay, imagine. So we need to have a good level of cholesterol, HDL, so that we can have a good digestion and processing of fats, which is the function of the bile. Okay, the bile acid, something like that, in our liver. Okay, like that. Now there is another one, which is the triglycerides. Okay, so this is the term that is very important to stress out the types of fatty acids. Okay, we have the bad fatty acids, we have the good fatty acids also. Okay, like that. And this triglycerides, I will just put that as TG. Okay, triglycerides. Okay, triglycerides, meaning to say there are 3 carbons plus the glycerides. Okay, meaning to say we have 1 glycerol plus 3 fatty acids. Glycerol derives from substances that contains glycerine. Okay, so glycerol ends with OL, so that is a sugar alcohol. Okay, so when we take alcohols in our body, it will increase our cholesterol level and the triglycerides. Okay, like that. And if there is no good regulation of the substances in our liver, so that's why it will cause coronary heart diseases, because our arteries will be hardened and thickened because of the presence of this deposits of this cholesterol and triglycerides, or a plaque of triglycerides. Then the inner layer of our blood which is the endothelmia, will not function properly. So there's no blood flow circulation, well, blood flow restriction, then there will be no flow of oxygen and nutrients going to our liver, going to our brain, going to our heart. Then the tissues and cells of the brain will be damaged, and of course the coronary heart disease will come in, or cardiovascular disease, specifically known as atherosclerosis. Okay, this atherosclerosis is a heart disease or a heart problem because your arteries is not functioning well, which carries the oxygen and the nutrients in the heart. Okay, so this is a deposit or accumulation of triglycerides, okay, lipids and cholesterol in our arteries. Okay, it will restrict the blood flow circulation. That will cause heart attack, heart problems like this, blah blah blah, so on. So CVDs, cardiovascular diseases. Okay, and heart attack is a silent killer, right? So you should limit your triglycerides into less than 150 milligrams per deciliter. Okay, less than like this. Okay, so since triglycerides is very bad to our health if it is more than 150 milligrams per deciliters, okay, so it will take a long time to expel as wastes in our body. Okay, that's why it will develop visceral fat in our belly fat, like that. And triglycerides are mainly body fats constituents. Okay, and this is derived from glycerol and fatty acids. We will discuss later the fatty acids also, right? Now if we will compute the LDL, so the medical technologist or a physician or any related medical professional that is licensed to conduct blood testing in the physical examination. So it should be a blood sample that you can determine the level of your low density lipoprotein, like this, high density lipoprotein. So I think, not really sure because I am not a medical technologist, your total cholesterol will be obtained. So it's gonna be the formula like this. Low density lipoprotein is equal to the total cholesterol minus HDL minus triglycerides, like this. If you will do your physical examination, then we have LDL, low density lipoprotein, is bad cholesterol, which is not above 100 milligrams per deciliter, is equals to the total cholesterol, which is dependent on what are the measurement or the reading or result that will appear in the device during the testing of the blood sample, something like that. Okay, and then minus the HDL is the result, also based on the result of the testing, high density lipoprotein, which is much better, above 60 milligrams per deciliter, because this is a good cholesterol, no problem, it will become higher. Okay, minus the triglycerides, but the triglycerides should be less than 150 milligrams per deciliter, something like that. You can determine your cholesterol level. So this is an indicator. Okay, so it's more than 100 for both men and women, so that signals you have a high cholesterol level in your bloodstream. Okay, because the more cholesterol level in your bloodstream, it's easy to remove. Okay, why? Because you have also a high level of triglycerides. They are directly proportional with each other. Okay, so complementary with each other, this triglycerides and the cholesterol. Okay, something like that. Okay, so and then this triglycerides composed of glycerol and fatty acids. Okay, these triglycerols composed of glycerol and fatty acids. Okay, Glycerol, the formula is carbon 3, okay, H5OH3. This is glycerol. Carbon 3, H5OH3, this is glycerol or sugar alcohol. Fatty acids will be composed of 18 carbons. It depends on what type of fatty acids. Could it be saturated fatty acids, unsaturated fatty acids, and the trans fatty acids? So the most dangerous of the three is the trans fatty acids. Okay, what are those examples of trans fatty acids that we will be taking in our system? Is that you always eat processed foods, burger, French fries, donuts, okay, and then pizza, frozen pizza, of course, and then popcorn, okay. We have the coffee cream, also are those trans fats, okay, and pastries, sweetened pastries, or baked foods, okay. So that's why you should limit your trans fats because it's very dangerous. Okay, just eat in moderation, okay, like that. And then our saturated fats, actually there are three types of fats: the saturated, unsaturated, and the trans fats. So saturated fats, we will also limit that in our body intake. We should eat in moderation also. That is animal fats or meat in animals. Could it be a beef, a corned beef, a chorizo, a bacon, or coming from dairy products, butter, like that. And then it's also found in soap, because soap composed of stearic acid, which is an example of saturated fatty acid, aside from the food. Okay, the application of this saturated fats, specifically the stearic acid, okay, is for the thickening of the soap, and applicable also in the manufacture of shampoo, detergent, okay, and the okay, that's shampoo, detergent, soap, like this, blah blah blah. Stearic acid, and for butter also, component to butter, butter. So imagine there's also in the food, there's also in toiletries, okay, like that. So for personal hygiene, toiletries, soap, shampoo, like this, blah blah blah, detergent for washing. So this is saturated fats, or saturated fatty acids, specifically the stearic acid, okay, like that. Okay, that's very clear. And the oils that are saturated fatty acids, that is not good for the health if you too much intake for that, especially in cooking, is the coconut oil and the palm oil is not good, are not good. This is saturated fatty acids, so usually contains stearic acid, okay, from vegetables, fats and oils, or animals, fats and oils. So animals fats, this is saturated fatty acids, okay, this is bad also, okay. But comparing trans fats and saturated fats, trans fats are more dangerous compared to the saturated fats, okay, like that. And we have the unsaturated fats. Unsaturated fats are composed of mono unsaturated fats and the polyunsaturated fats, okay. This time oleic acid and linoleic acid will come in, okay. Oleic acid is an example of monounsaturated fatty acids. So oleic acid comes from, again, vegetables and animal fats and oils, and this is very important in our heart condition and removing of cholesterol. Okay, oleic acid. The formula is carbon 18, H34, and oxygen 2. 18 atoms of carbon, okay, 34 atoms of hydrogen, and 2 atoms of oxygen. So this is monounsaturated fatty acids, meaning there is one single bond out of it, okay. So this is oleic acid, very very important. For example of this monounsaturated fatty acids are what? Canola oil, okay, olive oil, and then avocado, okay, pumpkin seeds, nuts, almonds, peanuts, hazelnuts, like this. Sometimes eggs also.